Just how do you measure success when it comes to your AI? What are the rules and the measurement, and what are the resources out there to help you do so? Well, we're going to look at that this week in the Data Radio Show. Hello there. In this week's episode of the Data Radio Show, Sam's going to sit down and have a chat to Sheng Lan. He's the Chief Data Scientist for Tech Data based out of Australia. And they're going to take a look at how we measure success in AI. Is it questions around accuracy or latency or consumer buy-in? And on top of that, they're going to talk a little bit about some resources that are out there for data managers to have a look at so that they can upskill themselves in a field that's exponentially growing all the time. So let's jump over now and have a chat to Sam. But before we do that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell everyone about the video. All right, let's go. Have a listen in.
Hello, listeners and viewers. Today I'm joined by Sheng Lan. He's from Tech Data, and you may know him from previous episodes where we've had discussions about artificial intelligence and data science. Welcome, Sheng.
Thank you, Sam. Happy to be here.
Great. So today we have some exciting announcements in terms of some of the work that Sheng has been doing in terms of the Data Innovators Exchange. We've built a classroom on there for data scientists, data analysts, and data engineers to experiment with AI or generative AI or large language models. And I suppose the genesis of all of this was a conversation that Sheng and I were having about what's been going on in the marketplace, especially in Australia, over the last 12 months. I suppose, Sheng, my opening question to you is, what are some of the trends that you've observed in terms of the adoption of generative AI and the use of large language models in terms of data science in the last 12 months?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I have been asked similar questions recently. If we look at last 12 months, I think we can, personally, I observe the trend. If we take the Gartner hype cycle that curve, I think last 12 months, we're going from the peak of the expectation to go down a little bit. For now, we also heard this AI fatigue, since there is so many talk about AI, but when it comes to the AI use case in production, or the AI actually deliver great ROI, that is not very easy to find. So I'm saying this, for now, we are still in the early stage. We do have this early adapter use AI in their daily work, daily life. But there's a long way to go to maybe get AI or generative AI in a stage like Google or like Excel, which people use every day, and a lot of people know how to use it.
Yeah, I guess one of the things that you've mentioned is that there's a lot of interest in different use cases. It seems like there's curiosity and experimentation going on, but not a lot happening tangibly in terms of the adoption.
Yeah, for now, I think the most, we'll say the successful AI use case, the one already in production, is mainly focused on to automate some tedious or repetitive tasks. For example, the meeting minutes summarization, that many people use that to join a meeting as their personal assistant to take the notes and summarize that, or to automate some repetitive task to improve the productivity. That is what I have seen on the market. Regardless the industry, can be higher education, healthcare, or other industry. We observe this similar AI use case in place. But regarding other more complex use case, there is still, I think people more expecting something you can just open it and use it, like ChatGPT. But in reality, you need, for example, to make the AI deliver the content relevant to your domain knowledge or your domain data, you need the data right. You need to get the right place for your data. And also you need to build a pipeline to maintain that knowledge base. Then you will come to build a customized application or front end for your business user. So that will, I think that may take more than people expecting to get the AI work in more complex use case.
Right.
Yeah, personally, I'm AI optimistic. So I'm thinking we will get in there with this new tool available with every month is very fast moving landscape.
Yeah, I guess from some of the early use cases and scenarios that we were working on about this time last year, you've published some of those, and I understand that there's quite a lot of interest in different use cases. Are there any that are getting more interest than others from your sense of the market?
So last time, we talked about this three entry point. One is customer care, like the chatbot. The second part will be more like HR
Yeah.
assistant to help you do some HR related task, automate that task. The third one is this app modernization, basically to use AI to help you do AI development. So that part is getting more attention, I would say, in the last few months. For example, this new tools is available like Cursor and also the GitHub Copilot have a new model to become more capable, not only to generate a few line of code for like code recommendation. It's more to help you to build a small project, build the backend, front end, to become like an experienced developer. It's not just a few line code. You have to have a very good solid knowledge to leverage that tool. But if you are like beginner, you have this tool, it will definitely get you a higher level with that. So I think the developer tool for AI or app modernization area get more interest.
Right. And from your point of view, tinkering around with AI in a variety of different cases, what new tools have come out in recent times that have kind of been a little bit mind-blowing for you? I know we were playing around with Notebook LM a couple of weeks ago, but what other tools have really kind of been aha moments for you?
One will be this low latency for speak-to-speak voice assistant. So this one is just available under OpenAI. They call that real-time API. The difference is before we want to build a voice assistant, so it will typically go, you convert the text to speech. Then when you receive that speak response, then you convert speech to text. So there is two things you need to do to build this voice. For now, basically we skip that text to speech conversion. We go speech to speech directly. So that significantly reduce the latency. That is really make a difference. Like 5 months ago or 3 months ago, we struggling with this awkward silence, or call that, between human and this voice assistant. But now this latency is difficult to notice. It's more natural conversation to build one. So that is a very good. Another one will be the Notebook LM. So they have a new very cool feature to generate a like a podcast. Two people will debate on the document or knowledge you post. I think that is very good for people who are used to learn something by listening. So they just put in that document, then hear that podcast or debate to learn the knowledge.
Yeah, one that well, both of us use on a regular basis is Perplexity. That I guess it's almost a RAG model in action, certainly in terms of it providing citations and references. I found it particularly useful in terms of being a research assistant. What is it that Perplexity does that's a bit different to, say, ChatGPT, and where you've run into some limitations in terms of what you've been trying to do with some of the experiments that you've been running?
Yeah. For Perplexity, I think it's great too as well. Um, I think it's more than a RAG, but the idea is basically the response is based on some search result. It's not based on the model training data. The benefit you get more latest recent result, and also you have some reference to check the accuracy, the response. Compared to ChatGPT also have a search function as well. Basically, you ask something, it will go search the content and response. But that search, based on my observation, is only based on this Microsoft Bing search result. For Perplexity, I think it's more than just Bing search. I think it's more than a lot of the search function. This part I don't know. Maybe they don't use search. They have their own knowledge base. They just scrabbling all this recent data over the internet. Since the speed is really fast. If you ask same question, compare ChatGPT and Perplexity, they may have some good way to get the recent knowledge with a very speed way compared to just the search.
Well, that's probably quite a good segue into talking about the importance of the accuracy of the results and reducing hallucinations. And when we talk about retrieval augmented generation, why is that important, especially in terms of the enterprise context and applying it in the corporate environment?
Yeah, for that one, we heard a lot of the news. People just take what ChatGPT said in some important document or important work, like a lawyer just take that as some evidence. So that will definitely will cause more problems. Like if you use this one, you didn't check. Um, who is responsible for this consequences for that one? And simple idea is you just use this ChatGPT result for some HR task. Like if you ask ChatGPT how much raise I can give for this employee compensation, so that will cause more issue. And there's obviously some regulations to ban that AI in a certain system. So to evaluate that RAG, we need to know some task, some answer is fact based or this is just make up. We want the answer as true as possible. Like if the chatbot doesn't know the answer, just say it doesn't know instead of make up something, and people will make some decision based on that wrong information. So I think that is people try to avoid in especially in this is critical area.
Okay, and I guess one of the things that has been occurring over the last 12 months is the evolution of not only the language models, but also how you can implement and use RAG based models. what have been some of the notable improvements that you've seen over the last 12 months that might lower the barrier to adoption? So one you've already mentioned, for instance, is speech-to-speech, or speech recognition, and I guess what you might call natural language conversation rather than natural language processing. What are some of the other advances that you've seen, particularly in relation to deployment in the enterprise environment?
For this interface, there is more way to interact with large language model or AI. So before majority is just a chat, use text. Now we have a speech, and going forward, or now we already have some vision model to understand image, to understand video. I think that is more way to interact with a model. That is getting more popular now. For now, I think the voice is one. Next will be the vision. Another way is before we just have a chat window, like people talk about something and give some document. Now there is a new release from OpenAI. They call Canvas. So they think about this best way to interact the AI is you have an empty canvas. So you just drag and draw, highlight, and do all this different way to interact with AI. So that is getting better and more way for people to use AI, to leverage AI, build their work. Like you can highlight some parts, say this part is we need to rephrase, or you need to modify this part of code to do something. Before that highlight features, you just basically tell the ChatGPT. So that is getting better and easier to do. For enterprise side, I think it will be for enterprise will be a little bit different compared to the consumer faced product. Enterprise maybe have multiple systems, and you need have a different component for different purpose, like the database or knowledge base. Then you have the front end for your business user, and you have the large language model, and you also need to manage the large language model. You need to do the logging, do the evaluation, to check. So that is we're seeing more offering from the market to help you to easily manage that, and also to meet these regulations.
Actually, that's a good point. What have you noticed from a regulation standpoint? Is there what developments have there been on that front in your observation?
Yeah, so I think for the regulation, the famous one is Europe AI Europe EU AI Act. So that one, what that do is that categorize the different AI use case. Like there is use case for high risk, low risk. Then for different category, they have different policy against this use case. For example, for some use case, they ban AI. That doesn't allow people to use AI. Come to the Australia, I think in September 5th, there is a voluntary AI safety regulation published. That one essentially is like a human-centered AI regulation. Is for now it's voluntary and it's high level, and there is also consultation going on to make some mandatory AI regulations. For that one, I think now come to some more practical examples. For AI governance, now is majority we'll say the main component will be one is this documentation. You need to document what model you are using, what use case you are using. Second part is monitoring and evaluation. So before you go to production, you evaluation this accuracy, and when you go to production, you need to monitor this performance, make sure the response is appropriate, is expected. The last part will be manage the risk. So there is a lot of work to make sure this use case is follow the regulation and is compliant with these different regulations in different regions. So all these three main components is the current um, framework we use for AI governance, and also there's a tools like IBM Governance to help you easily manage all these three components to essentially accelerate the AI from idea to proof of concept or to production, um, to make sure you use that as safely and also deliver the productivity as well.
Okay. I guess given the theme that we're talking about in terms of this being a new field for everyone, let's talk a little bit about the classroom that you've built and some of the resources that are there. Some of this is your own work in terms of stuff that you've put together around AI use cases. Can you give listeners and viewers a little bit of an introduction to what you've pulled together in the classroom, who's it for, and what they can expect to get from the classroom?
Yeah. I think the classroom, the contents, we work on this in the last 8 months or 12 months, is have three topic. The first one is common AI use cases in different industry, like finance, retail, healthcare. The second topic is this webinar, monthly webinar we run and host it in Tech Data. So the content is varied from different topic. It can be very hands-on, how to build a RAG webinar, like retrieval augment generation, or in high level for to talk about this AI for enterprise, AI for business. And we have 8 webinar recording and also the slides so far. And we have the IBM or the industry specialist to be the guest speaker. The last topic is more specific for this AI tool. We talk about IBM watsonx. Consider this is fast evolving area. There's new feature, new tools, basically every day, every month. So this topic, we pick this most popular tool and features to give you some hands-on tutorial type. You can see how to build this, how to use this to build your own AI use cases. That is the third topic. I think this content is good for beginner, or you are someone want to learn more detail on IBM watsonx, or you just in general interested in this area, you can also to check this classroom.
So let's say I was a data warehouse manager, let's say, and I wanted to experiment a little bit with how to build a RAG model and interact with an LLM. You'll find the guidance to do that in the classroom?
Yeah, for that one, we don't have a specific for data warehouse, but we do have mentioned there is with under the use case, there is a use case for use AI to build a SQL assistant. Like you use natural language to asking for some data, and that will convert to a SQL query, then go to query your database. So that could be some use case to give the users an idea how they can use AI, what use case it may applicable for them. So definitely is a good content to get some ideas, maybe not specific for our area, but in general will give you some inspirations and ideas to build your own use case.
Super. Well, that's excellent. I guess one last question for you, Sheng. What prediction do you have for the next 6 months in terms of AI? I know you've mentioned incorporating vision into things, and you've mentioned speech, conversational speech, and Canvas. Is there anything else that you're noticing on the horizon? As an AI optimist, it's fast moving. 6 months time. Any predictions?
For going forward, I think a vision may be more popular, get more attention. So basically, think about AI like you mentioned that bring your own intern to the work. So think about if you think about that is intern, will kind of like you hope the intern can not only send you text response, you hope this intern can talk, can see. So for now, I think the talk and to text, that is what we already have. Is very good now. The vision may be the next step. So we can have something can talk, can speak, can see. That is really open more possibility to AI use case and applications.
Okay. And is there any vision application that you're tinkering around with at the moment or playing around with?
Not yet, not yet. But we have seen this one like one application called Be My Eye. So that is for help the people have this visual difficulty to have something maybe in the phone can help them to navigate or talk through what happened surrounding them. That is very good use for AI to help people get a better life and do the goodness. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good place to draw it to a close. Thanks so much for your time once again, Sean.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of the Data Radio Show. You can learn more about what it is that we do in our school classroom, and don't forget you can also sign up for our weekly newsletter, which does deep dive into topics around data management and AI, all completely for free. So make sure you do that. There's links down in the description below, super easy to find. Until next time, have a fantastic week and live long and prosper.